All right, here we go. Dirty Thursday brought to you by Cities Speedway today on a rookie day. Sean Enright in the studio along with Amanda Joe Enright going to be our co-host today. And we're also going to be talking to John Votova a little bit later on or a little bit earlier on into the show. I want to give a shout out to Northwest Tire for bringing a sponsor here on Dirty Thursday. You know, for tires or work on your vehicle and all that kind of stuff. Check out Northwest Tire on Gateway Drive. They are North Dakota's largest tire dealer, and they've been family-owned for over 40 years, too. From big to small, Northwest Tire, they pretty much do it all. You can find all the big-name brands, Toyo, Nokian, Bridgestone, Firestone, and more. Call them, 701-780-8473 to schedule your next appointment. Northwest Tire, they are on Gateway Drive in Grand Forks, helping you get the perfect tires for whatever you drive. Speaking of Northwest Tire, Chad, a little bit sick today. Hopefully he's getting better. If you have any questions or comments, we're going to go through a lot today. Our number here at the studios at Grand Forks Best Source, 701-213-0863, 701-213-0863. Let's do it. Get it out of the way. Jokes my neighbor tells me. Daily segment that we do. Here we go. I refuse to go bungee jumping. You know, I came into this world because of a broken rubber. I'm not going to leave because of one. What'd you think of that one, Amanda Joe?
That was actually pretty good.
Dale, the producer, would have been doing the old. How have you been? First off, you're doing the night thing now. What's going on there?
Well, we're in a technician shortage for like the fifth time in my career. I feel like it's every 2 to 3 years. We needed someone to work overnight, so I volunteered for 7. I just did my first night at 7, and I already don't want to go back.
Ooh, so what time do you start? What time do you end?
I start at 7 p.m. and I leave at 6 a.m.
Oh, man. So you don't even,
Took a quick nap and came here.
A quick nap. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Of course, across from you is your hubby, Sean Enright, and he is in the studio today. Hello.
Hey, how we doing?
Good. I can't wait to talk to you on a rookie day. This is going to be fun. Man, I enjoyed watching you last year. And also across from me, I'd like to welcome John Votova to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You're here, and it's not why we want you here. But we're going to talk a little bit about Julie Pederson. Now, folks, if you don't know who Julie Pederson is, Joey Pederson, the P7, the late model driver, it's his wife, Tucker Pederson. Of course, in the 27P, his mother, along with Kelsey Pederson, she drives the another Lightning Sprint car. The mom to all of these and wife, and she's been sick. Why don't you tell us a little bit with what's going on with Julie right now?
Well, about 2.5 years ago, she was diagnosed with bone cancer and been doing pretty well with it. And then she started another round of chemo in September of this year, and it completely wiped out her immune system, and she became septic.
Oh, boy.
So she was in ICU for a little over 2 weeks. She's out of ICU now and doing well. She's starting to produce red and white blood cells. Still has a long road ahead of her with PT and stuff like that. So, yeah, she's been battling.
Oh man, because she was what do they call that? She was hooked up to
dialysis.
Dialysis, like full time, wasn't it?
Yep. Now she's off of that now.
Okay. And there's going to be a fundraiser for her, and that's going on this Sunday, American Legion, 11 to 2.
Yep.
I think. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I talked to Joey every day, and he was getting lots of phone calls. I was getting lots of texts and phone calls. Mm-hmm. Jackie Diebmeyer was getting calls of how can people help. So we came up with the idea to have a benefit, and Pedersons were on board with it. So Jackie Diebmeyer and Morgan Smith have kind of been leading it, and I've been helping out as much as I can. So we're going to have, as you said, a benefit on Sunday at the American Legion from 11 to 2. We have lots of silent auction items. We're going to have taco in a bag, all the fixings. So it's been a very humbling experience as far as the outpouring of support we've been receiving.
And you know, the thing is, if this was on somebody else's shoe or somebody else is wearing that shoe, the Pedersons would be the first one to jump in and help. You know, you talk about the taco in the bag and all the fixings. They're just asking for a suggested donation of like $5 for this. And here's the cool thing, too. I mean, it's Sunday at 11 a.m. is when this starts. Not everybody's going to make it there because it's on a weekend. But you could still make any donation at any Franson Bank and Trust, East Grand Forks, or there's a couple of numbers we can call, 218-686-7930, and I believe that goes to you.
Yep.
Jackie Dobmeyer, 218-791-6825. If you can't make it to this thing, check it out, all right? Make the phone calls, stop into France, do what you have to do. Some of the items here, let's go through some of these things. Boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of cool things on the silent auction, isn't there?
There are. Yep.
So we got, let's go through the top here. What are some of them? You got a photography package, it looks like. We got stuff, Big Jim's, Blackjack Motors, Dahlstrom Motors, all these things here. What do you know what some of these are? Okay, here we go. We got oh my gosh, the Yeti cooler. You got gift cards, DeWalt 20-volt drills with battery in a bag, more gift cards. Autograph pictures and jerseys. I believe that's that UND.
Yep.
Hockey.
Yep.
Boy, car detail gift baskets. There's how about these die casts? Oh my goodness. 7 homemade quilts, 4 cutting boards, 2 Joey Pederson die casts, 1 Tucker Peterson die cast, 1 Kelsey Peterson die cast, 2-hour cleaning certificate. I mean, and there's more coming in all the time. Is that right?
Yeah, this list is as of last night. We have a lot more probably coming in today. And there's something for everybody too. I mean, Mark Dobmeyer he's doing a 2-seater raffle.
Oh,
with
cool.
his car.
Okay.
We've got some adult beverages going to be on the auction. Yep. We mentioned the quilts. Yeah, they're the tools, facial, spa stuff. So there's something for everybody.
Now, you mentioned, whenever you mention adult beverages, it always gets my attention, but is that going to work out because the thing starts at 11? Is that going to be an issue, or do we have to wait till noon to have our first adult beverage?
Well, absolutely not. The Legion's going to be open. The bar is going to be open, so you guys can start partaking probably at 11.
All right. By the way, I did want to show you, I'm wearing it again, and I have been wearing it the last couple weeks in support of the Pederson family. We've got them all there. Joey, Kelsey, and Tucker, they're all on that shirt. So very cool. 11 o'clock, you guys are going to be starting to set up probably around 9 on Sunday morning. Folks, I'm not kidding you. If you don't know the Pedersons, maybe you just know them from watching when they race. If you don't know Julie, she's one of the most remarkable people you're probably ever going to meet, one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. These guys would do anything. They would give the shirts off their backs for pretty much anybody out there. Even if you can't make it, do what you can. All right, do what you can, folks. People are already texting. How about this? Guy can give free snow removal for the auction worth $800. I'll send that. I'll send your number to him. There you go. In fact, Marvin, write it down. 218-686-7930. 218-686-7930. Anything else that you want to mention on this? I mean, you guys are doing a lot of great work. It's good that we have places like the Legion, that are willing. In fact, I stopped in there the day before yesterday, and I told them I was going to be there. She's like, "Oh, that's going to be a huge one," So people are already getting pretty stoked about this.
Yeah, and everybody's been very generous, like I mentioned, with the silent auction items. The Legion's been great with, they're basically donating the facility, providing workers, taking care of the food. We have a lot of workers coming in to help, get set up and actually work the event. But it's a big effort, but it's well worth it. And like you mentioned, the Pedersons mean a lot to a lot of people. So it's the least we can do.
And not to mention, there's probably going to be a lot of race car drivers there. So folks, if you want to see what they look like in real life and not just in their race car from up in the grandstands, now is the time to go check that out. Going to be a great one. Nick Curtis, good morning. Marvin, thank you guys again for texting and calling in. And, people like you, this is why they call it North Dakota, Minnesota nice. They do the same for us. Hats off to you guys for doing this. And again, I'm going to be pushing your phone numbers if you don't mind. We're going to be pushing this hard throughout the day today and tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get a really good turnout on Sunday. I can't wait to see her back and the whole family back at the track. She might not make it there on Sunday, but we're all going to be thinking about her. And again, thank you for spearheading this. Thank you to Jackie and thank you to everybody. It's really cool. You guys do good work.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Now, are we ready to talk some lightning sprint car racing?
Sure.
Okay. You want to hang out?
Sure.
Okay. Sure you don't want nothing to drink?
I'm good. I got to go back to work.
Okay. Where are we going to start here? Okay, first off, I wanted to tell you guys this. My wife and I were on our way somewhere, and she asked who was on the show today. And I told her Sean Enright, and she said, Amanda Joe's husband. Oh, okay. How good do you know him? I said, well, I don't know him that real good. So, and she goes, well, if he's married to Amanda Joe, he must be a pretty good guy. And I said, yeah, well, that's kind of what I was thinking. But you're a pretty good guy, aren't you?
I would think so.
Has his days.
Yeah, well, we
Some
all
days.
do. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Sean. I don't want to know anything about racing yet. Just tell us about Sean Enright. If we didn't know you drove that race car.
I work at Valley Truck in East Side. I help my dad on the farm and part-time and when I can, and do this racing thing on the weekends.
Couple of kids you have.
Couple kids, Hallie and Hudson.
And they're fairly busy kids too, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, the older they get, the busier they get.
Yeah, and what I really like is maybe not the same kind of busy that it seems like most kids nowadays are busy with. Your kids do stuff like archery and
horse riding and
yeah, and the stuff we used to do when we were
working
kids.
on race cars and
Yeah.
Then Hudson
Yeah.
just added robotics to
robotics
his plate.
now too.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sean's also Hallie's archery coach too.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I know.
With Sacred Heart, we do that. And
Oh, wow. They're not video game kids too much.
No, we don't have any video game. We have a Wii.
Well, yeah.
Like 2000.
Let's go bowling. Yeah.
yeah,
Pretty much.
bowling or golfing or
We put it in Hudson's room because he's the only one that plays with it. But no, video games aren't a thing in our house.
And then that's a nice deal. I like that. What made you decide to start racing? I know you had been around the racing world with Amanda Joe and stuff, but run through that if you would.
Well, it kind of started when I started at Valley with Jade's car owner, Steve. He asked me to swing by and help one night, and we did that for a while, and then we helped Jason for a while, and then it's like, all right, well, everybody else is having fun. It's my turn. So we mechanics race, and that was the end of it.
Hooked.
I had to have one.
Yeah, it's like a drug.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you decide I want to buy a race car. What did Mama say here about this?
She didn't know about the mechanics race till she saw my name on the board and went, really?
Yeah, I was not too thrilled.
Really?
Yeah, he's tried for the 4 previous seasons. He tried to do the mechanics race. I was like, no, thank you, sir.
Really?
Yep.
You turned them down.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
continue.
Just got the suit on and headed out there and kind of got it. I mean, working on them, I kind of know how the clutch worked and put it in gear and everything. And it's like, all right, well, let's go try it. And I mean, it wasn't the fastest lap times or
Was that
speed, but
was that Jason's car?
Jason's car,
Okay.
yeah.
Can we back up to where this actually was planned like a week prior because you got a hold of Jory Berg and got his helmet and his
Yeah, I
suit,
might have
and
had
not-
Jory into this too a little bit.
Not only that, both the kids kept it a secret, and this helmet and this suit were sitting in my living room, and I thought nothing of it.
Well,
Really?
We're both
No.
short, fat kids, so I mean, it kind of works out to where me and Jory were the same size, and it's like, he's like, yeah, I got a suit and helmet laying around, and
Still got to the track, oblivious to the whole thing, and I'm up and scoring, and I'm looking at the list of mechanics and powder puff. I'm like, whoa, I know that name.
So you didn't find out till you were way up in the booth.
Yeah,
And
both-
by then you can't do anything about it.
No, and both my
nope,
kids
was already
knew.
had the suit on and ready to go.
That is so funny. One of the best families. I've been a privilege to be a part of their crew and being able to help them out with whatever they need help with. Thank you very much, Nick Curtis. What a great guy. Bill's watching. Bill Deutsch, Kyle Awney. All the guys are watching there. Now, how did you end up? I mean, you get done with the mechanics race. You come out of there, I'm sure, smiling.
Oh, grinning ear to ear, yep.
Yeah,
you
and-
couldn't wipe that thing off my face.
For like 2 weeks, you couldn't.
Oh, it was bad.
Cramping
It
face.
was bad, yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you have it in your mind right then that I'm going to do whatever I can to get my ass into one of these things all the time?
If I could figure out how to pay for it without interrupting everything else in life, and if we could do it, then I was going to do it.
Dude, I knew you were going to do it. You bought Simpson racing shoes that week because you wore cowboy boots.
Well,
in the
everybody
mechanics
gave me
race.
crap about wearing work boots. So then I like, all right, the race shoes were like cheap
Like,
from Speedway.
Three
so I
days later, they
figured, why
showed up.
not?
A Speedway box shows up at my house, and I'm like, what is this about? And he goes, I think I want to buy a race car. I'm like, well, you got the shoes, might as well.
What color were the shoes?
Oh, they're black.
Black
Okay,
and white,
okay.
Yep.
So he gets the race car. What do you get?
Anything I want.
She has a
Oh.
shoe collection.
She what?
Shoe collection.
Shoe
Oh,
collection.
are you do you have a shoe fetish?
I do. I'm a shoe snob.
Oh yeah, my
Bad.
wife says I am just because I have like 18 pairs of Crocs, but I I love me my Crocs. Yeah, Dirty Thursday. Caitlin's interesting. Seems like Jory is quite the recruiter.
Yeah,
Good
Jory.
morning, Tommy Corcoran. So okay, walk us through. You talk it over with your wife. She says okay that if you figure out how to do the finances and stuff.
No, we went and borrowed a race car for another race.
Oh,
the
okay.
Next week.
Well, the next week, yeah, there was another 2-day show in Buffalo, and the guy I bought it from, Kyle Cole, said, he goes, well, if you're interested, I'll run it Friday, and you can race it Saturday.
Oh.
So then I got more stuff ready to go, and I said, yeah, let's do this.
And then
He goes, so what do you think? I said, well, we got to have that. We got to keep that forever. So
And that's when I found out we have another bank account.
I kind of had been hoarding
yeah.
in another.
Well, I also
yes.
found out that week he was getting bonuses for like a year. And
Yeah.
he was putting them in this bank account, which apparently I've been receiving the bank statements for and never even
Never
thought-
opened
Well, you
an
didn't even
envelope.
notice a damn
No.
race suit in your living room. How are you
No.
going to notice that?
No, well, I mean, that's normal in my life, I guess.
But, now on Sean's defense here, he could have been going to a strip club in
I mean, you
Fargo and
could've.
spending all that money, but he didn't. So did you have to dip into any savings or anything, or was that account enough
No,
for you to get
it
rolling?
all covered it, and
Yeah.
we figured it out. Kyle was nice and helped us with payments and made a couple,
Nice.
3-4 good payments.
Yeah.
And paid it off, and
Wow.
she's all ours.
And now your thoughts after a season is done. Your thoughts about him running this now.
The beginning of the season, I was kind of, I think, numb to the whole situation because I've been around this for so many years. I think towards the middle of the season, I was like, okay, he is going to do this. Like, okay, we got this. And towards the end of the season, I was like, this sucks. It's over with. I was starting to enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Because I started to actually put his career at the forefront
Sure. Instead of the big,
instead of everything else I was doing, which I've apologized to Sean before about this, but I let all my other stuff in racing take precedence over his career, which I told myself I wasn't going to do, but I did it.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
So yeah, I scaled back huge in August, which we all know, and I put my effort and focus on him, and I'm kind of looking forward to next year now.
Oh, I bet. Burnout is a thing.
It is.
You can spread yourself way too thin, and the thing is, you don't realize you're doing it until it's over, and you're so wiped out, and all the emotions, everything. But we know exactly what you're talking about. Not a bad first year. When I look at 21 events, no wins, no top 5s, but 11 top 10s. You had like 3 6th place finishes, and I believe the powr Rookie of the Year.
Right. Yep.
Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd call it good enough.
Yeah. When you first got in that thing and you started getting more and more comfortable, are there any scary moments?
Yeah. Devil's Lake for sure. Kind of hit a few good ruts and
Throws you around a little bit.
I thought I was going over.
It was
And then
nice
it kind
about
of
all
recovered,
that.
but
When I catch all this stuff in photo because of my best friend, he sends me photos. He'd be like, "Look what Sean did. Sean's grounded this
that
week."
would
And
be
I'm like,
Steven, yes.
Yeah, Steven.
Steven keeps me in trouble a little
He
bit.
keeps-
He's good at that, isn't
He
he?
keeps an eye on Sean for me.
Yep.
Chewy, Jeff Carnell's watching from down in southern Minnesota. How you doing? I've been trying to talk him into keep driving north and come and visit us. He's such a great guy. I tell you what I'm going to do. We are going to take just a little bit of a break here, but we are going to talk again with Sean Enright, rookie here in the 7S with the Minn Kota Lightning Sprints. I want to talk to you after this break about your one DNF of the year. We'll talk about that coming up. Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done yesterday. Same with oil changes. Got to get them done. Sucks having to wait in line for 3-4, half a day, whatever, 3-4 hours. I go to Valvoline Instant Oil Change. We all do. Takes about 15-20 minutes. I'm in and out of there. While they're changing my oil, they're also topping off my fluids. They check my tires, my battery, my lights, my wipers, my cabin air filter, all that stuff. They give you discounts for fleets in the military. They can text and email invoices and coupons. And if you mention Grand Forks Best Source when you first pull in there, they'll knock $10 off your oil change. Pretty good deal. Tell you what, Monday through Saturday, just swing in. No appointment needed. Pickup and deliveries available in Grand Forks, too. That's pretty cool. For a complete oil change and more, check them out. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, 3325 South 38th Street. Make sure you tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you. they'll knock $10 off your oil change. There's the guy that said he'd throw in the free snow removal right out there. We are back. John Votova hanging out with us, talking about the Julie Pederson fundraiser. And, of course, my co-host today, kind of sleepy, Amanda Jo is here. And we're all talking about her husband today, too, Sean Enright, on a rookie day. One DNF. I know it was kind of a funny story, and I'm sure I'll hear both versions of it here, but I want to hear yours first yet. Only one DNF your
Only
rookie
one
year.
DNF. Yep.
That's a hell of a season.
Yep, and I didn't roll it either. The car stayed in one piece all year long, other than a shock fell off and I bent it in Buffalo. But other than that, it was all right. But I was coming out. We were up in Greenbush, and I was just coming out of 2, and the car got loose and got slowed down enough to almost not hit the tire, but then I still hit the tire, and she comes over, and she didn't really know that what was bent, and had another driver come over, and he looked at it, and he said, yeah, it looks kind of weird, so
just for a safety precaution, she didn't want you going back.
She didn't want me out there, yes.
And I mean, you still don't have a lot of seat time.
Right.
Probably a good call, but something to make fun of later on.
Oh, yeah. We tear her apart when we can and let her know that it was her that did it.
Okay, there's Sean's version. Let's hear Amanda Jo's version.
Sean sucks. So does Steven. Steven sucks too. Steven brings that up to me every possible time he can. He'd be like, remember June 3rd? I'll be like, you remember our friendship? You want to be for sale? No, just as he said, it was his 3rd race, mind you.
Yep.
First time in Greenbush. Very first time in Greenbush he'd raced there. And he hit the Uke tire coming onto 2. And I was like, at this point, I have no idea what the front end of his car is supposed to look like. I've never looked at it, never paid attention to it. I don't help him work on the car. I don't touch the car. Mm-hmm. You know, don't want that whole favoritism thing to be a thing, considering I was his competition director.
Oh, sure.
You know?
yeah, Amanda Jo knows the secrets to make him faster.
Yep, sure do. So Hayden had just pulled in because, I don't know, brakes or whatever. So he's sitting there. We're both looking at the car. I was like, do you know what's going on here? And he's like, it looks weird. And I was like, yeah, look, sure. Mm-hmm. So then he parks. I pull Sean, like, you're gonna have to park. Safety, you know. I was, not just him, for everyone out there.
Sure.
Not even a lap later, Weston Olson hits the tire in 4, and he pulls in, and they're all 3 standing there, and they go to each other, hey, what'd you do? Hayden's like, I don't brake. Sean's like, I hit that tire. Weston's like, well, I hit that tire. So Weston ended up braking a lot more. But the funny part is when we walked back from the infield, me and Jason Olson are looking at each other, and he's like, well, what'd your guy do? I said, hit a tire. And he goes, yeah, Weston too. He goes, how much damage? I'm like, barely any. And he goes, I just got to remember to tell Weston I love him. I'm like, I'll do the same thing for Sean. Like, I wasn't mad. I was more mad at myself.
This is like a reoccurring theme in the last couple of weeks here on Dirty Thursday after Tyler Peterson being in here last week talking about that. But,
well, then he had redemption. He got to go back, first day back in Greenbush. I'm in the infield again. He had another rookie kind of tag him in the rear, and he comes flying in the infield. I'm like, son of a gun. Please, not again. I don't want to park him again. Took extra time, and looked at everything, looked fine. After the race, we get back to the trailer, and he goes, were you looking for something wrong just to park me? I'm like, no. I was being thorough. So
trying to sabotage my career.
So I didn't park you again, because I'm like, oh, I don't want Greenbush to be the place where you DNF because of me.
Mm-hmm. Do you are you really worried when he's out there?
No.
Not at all.
I'm not worried because of the other drivers. Mm-hmm. Not really him. He's very cautious. I mean, obviously, he's gotten a little bit more daring.
Sure.
I think me and Tanner, Tanner Moocher gave him a lot of crap at River Cities because he likes to push the top a little more than we think he should.
It's faster. It's good against the wall, so I mean, it's.
And in Devil's Lake, I feel like that's just most comfortable track. He doesn't race there a lot, but you can see he really puts a lot more into it. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you from the photographs I've looked at and what I've seen, I'm not impressed with him pushing as much as he does, but we have really good drivers that take care of him.
Yeah,
they make sure they know. And you can talk to any of them. A lot of these veterans will be like, we know where Sean's going to be. Mm-hmm. We know he's not going to be like, some rookies were just kind of like all over the track.
All over, yeah.
How are you going to get by these guys?
Sean can kind of tell, like, how long it's been since the leaders. Like, you can kind of gauge where the leaders are at. And you're like, okay, I know who's leading. I know I'm going to stay low because they're going to go around me.
Sure.
Or he'll give him some room up top. Although there was one race where this rookie determined the winner in Buffalo, which I thought was hilarious. It was between Bryce Hagerberg and Kelsey Peterson. And they're both coming up on him, so Sean stayed in the middle. And I was looking at this like whoever goes high is gonna get them. It's easier at that track. And Kelsey made the decision to go high, and Bryce went low, and
you were the sandwich.
And he was the
I
sandwich,
guess, yeah.
and because of that sandwich, Kelsey beat Bryce that night.
Wow. Are you finding it, Sean? Do a lot of the guys you're racing with and against are they pretty helpful? I mean,
yeah.
you know, we
Yeah,
talk
they'll
about
come in-
this till we're blue in the face about how guys are willing to help and all of that stuff. But how easier or much easier is it to get into this stuff when you've got guys that are, you know, that are kind of helping you out and you know, behind you?
Yeah, and being, you know, competition director for a while and then helping Jason, I got to know all these guys before.
Sure.
So we're hanging out in trailers afterwards and having a couple drinks or whatever. And it was easier than if I was just a guy off the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, they continue to help until you start beating them.
Right.
And then they probably don't let that information just flow like they used to, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. How are you comfortable in the seat now? Or if not, how much is it getting better every time?
It's getting better every time. It's more of trusting the car in the corners and stuff than trying to just let off and let it coast through. And
I mean, you're putting a
stay
lot
on
of
the
pressure
power and instead, and
just hoping everything holds
it
together.
holds together, and
And I you know, I never really thought of that much. I guess I did when I raced, but a lot of people don't realize that you're pushing these things to the limit.
Right.
I mean, to the max, where you're on the edge. I mean, just it could be disaster or it could be great.
Right.
To get over that little hump.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, you haven't had any wrecks or anything yet.
Yeah.
Have you thought about it, or do you just keep that out of your head?
I don't really even think about it. I get nervous a little bit starting Wednesday, and then by Friday it's like, all right, let's go. Let's do this, and we'll go load the car or whatever and go do our thing.
Are you doing a lot of the work on the car, the setup? Have you been learning, or are you a note taker? Do you go through all that
I am not a
stuff?
note taker. No, I don't. I didn't write. Dexter pounded into my head, you need to write everything down. And I said, yeah, okay. And I never did. I didn't write nothing down. I got some baselines from a couple guys, and we start there and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And adjust from there, I guess. Yeah.
Now, it's funny. I'll bring this up to you, John. When we had Tucker Pederson on, and he was talking about the 27P has now been sold. I think you said it officially left last night.
He left yesterday. Yep.
Okay, so it went up to Canada. I know he got a good price for it, and he said he thought a lot of it was because of the notes that he had. He goes, all the notes went with it, and he goes, I really think that the guy wants the notes more than he did the car. But what do you think about taking the notes for these tracks? Is something he's going to have to start doing?
Oh, I would completely agree.
Yeah.
With the years I've spent with Joey, every car he had a binder, and even though we'd switch from the Rayburn to the Rocket to the MB to the Longhorn, whatever, most of that knowledge transfers over to some degree. But Joey's always looking at that notebook.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there a lot you can change on the setup on these cars? I mean,
yeah,
and
you
do
can.
you have to change it a lot from going from Buffalo River to River Cities to Devil's Lake to Greenbush?
Yeah. Yep. Short tracks, it's got to be way different than River Cities. I mean, Buffalo to River Cities is night and day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of chassis, motor, all that stuff are you running?
Mine is a 2013 Honda out of a CBR
Okay.
motorcycle, triple X chassis.
Okay.
Yep.
You see yourself running these things for a while?
Yep, till I can afford something bigger. Yep.
Oh, there we go. So I'm not even going to go there. So
It's not a 410, so don't
No.
worry.
no, okay.
No.
It will not be a 410.
I wasn't thinking that, but I was kind of on that same road. Anyway,
Yes.
would you want your kids to follow your footsteps and do this?
Hallie has mentioned it over and over. I wanted to get Hudson into go-karts because he's short, little, skinny, perfect driver profile. Wants nothing to do with racing.
Yeah. Those kids are a lot different than each other, aren't
Yeah. Yep.
they? And let's face it, your kids are in a lot of activities. You can't force them to do anything.
I have never pushed the envelope. No.
And I mean, as far as a dad now, okay, I wish my boy would want to do this, but if my daughter wants to do it, I mean, that's still pretty dang cool. Do you think, is she one of the ones that helps you out in the shop a lot, or?
Actually, none of the kids. It's all me.
It
It's
is,
all
huh?
on my own. Yep.
What the hell?
Hudson started.
Hudson's my tire guy. Now it's
Okay.
track a little
He's
more.
tire
And
guy.
Okay.
he kind of wants to be the wrench. And
Oh, really?
So
Okay. Tires? You guys run through tires like they do in the big sprints?
no,
No.
I can get. Well, granted, I'm short of power from like Dexter and Kelsey and Jason and those guys, but they probably go through a set of tires every 2 to 3 nights. I probably got 6 nights out of my tires, I suppose.
Wow.
Yeah,
And what is the cost difference for a Lightning Sprint tire compared to a big sprint?
about $50.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
They're going up again this year.
Oh, wow. Of course, they're never going to go down.
Yeah, Hoosier said they changed their pricing in February, so
Oh,
if
geez.
you're gonna buy tires, buy them before the end of the year.
Yeah, yeah. And do you try to scrape money together like that to get deals on these things while you can, or you just kind of wait and we'll
hard-
deal with it
yeah,
next
we
year?
Just keep buying when you need them.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, you never know. I mean,
Yeah. Performance Auto stocks them, so we just get them there.
oh, okay, okay. Have you thought about next year's schedule?
More.
You know, okay, I kind of figured that. And I mean, you ran 21 events this year. I know you took some time off. I mean,
Yep.
we follow
With
each
no
other
sun
on
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
What are you thinking next year? Do you got a targeted number, or have you started going through I don't know how many tracks even have their schedules out yet, but have you started thinking about it?
Every night possible. Yeah.
And how hard is it to tow, and what do you use? I mean, that's the nice thing about a Lightning Sprint. You don't have to have a whole lot of fancy shit to do it.
Yeah, we started with my dad's 14-foot utility trailer, and now we're in a 23-foot car trailer
Oh.
and the pickup. So
So if you ever do any, like when you're talking about a 2-weekend or a 2-day race weekend, you motel it, or do you sleep in a pickup, or haven't got that far yet?
everywhere we race within an hour and a half, so you just run home.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky like that.
Yeah.
We're kind of centrally located, so we just go home.
Yeah, with being in Grand Forks, it's nice.
Oh yeah. And you know, that is, we've really got it nice around here, because you think about how many tracks are within an hour and a half away from here.
Right.
You know, 2 hours max. It's pretty cool. Have you got a favorite track, or a car that maybe or a track that maybe your car runs a little better on compared to others?
I would say it's probably Greenbush first, and then River Cities.
Now, Greenbush has been called a hidden gem by a lot of people. It's a
Absolutely.
nice little track.
Yep.
And when you really think about it, that's kind of where the Lightning Sprint deal almost came from.
Right.
You know, you had that whole group of old snowmobile racers up there, and I remember back in the old days of the mini sprints when
Right.
you didn't know if they were running a Polaris, a Skidoo, an Arctic Cat, or a Suzuki GSXR motor. You know, they were all different, but kind of came from up in that area, and they do a really good job up there too, don't they?
Yeah, Trapper does an awesome job at the track every week, and yeah, we show up and do our thing.
Yeah. First win is coming. Where would you want it to be? Imagine you'd probably want it at home, or maybe not.
I would, a River Cities win would be awesome for the first one, but I'd feel more probably Greenbush or somewhere. Yeah,
I mean, because let's face it, most guys don't get their first win at home. I mean, really,
Right.
They just, it doesn't seem like they ever get their first win at River City Speedway. And another really cool thing about this is since the sprint cars aren't here as much, we get to see the
There's
Lightning
more
Sprints
classes,
more.
yeah.
We get to see the A-mods more. We get to see the new 305s and all of that kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't know. People say Grand Forks is a sprint car town. Maybe it is, but I don't care. It doesn't matter what kind of sprint car it is. I just absolutely love watching them. You're the only guy that works on your car. You have your son help you once in a while. She doesn't. So it's just you.
Hallie double checks the safety stuff. She's into that. She'll check the Hans and gloves and she'll do all that. Yep.
Yeah. And you don't ever go out there and when he's not around and just look.
No.
No?
No. I think my mom stares at it the most.
Really?
It's in her garage.
It's in her garage. Yeah.
She enjoys it.
It's at their house.
My mom likes racing, so.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she likes having it in the garage.
Wow. Yeah, I'd love to have a race car in my garage. I think that's pretty cool. You got your cheat sheet, Sean. Who's sponsoring you and who helps you out?
Well, Dylan helps a lot, of course. He's been helping me out. We run the same chassis, so that kind of helps. And let's see, my kids, obviously, and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law for the garage. And you got the Dairy Queen over in East Side. Auto Finance Supercenter, the Mullen family. Idea Electric, Ewing Oil, KB Manufacturing out of Fisher, Minnesota. Abco Tools, which is your Mac Tools dealer in town.
Yep.
Kobe Outdoors is a buddy of mine from years ago in school. And then KM Transmission out of Thief River.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thief River, it's my hometown.
Yep.
I forgot what the hell I was just going to ask him. It had something to do with sponsorships. Oh, Jesus.
Sponsorship's the worst part.
Is it that hard?
It's tough to ask. Yep.
Yeah. It's never easy asking anybody for money. What do you think about, you've been at the racetrack enough, and we ask a lot of the race car drivers this, afterwards, you know, when you're sitting in the pits and the kids come and stare at you like you're Elvis, how fun is that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. They want to sit in the car and have at it, you know, as long as nothing's hot, of course.
Right. So are your kids like the little experts? If another kid shows up, it's like, hey, come here, I'll show you.
Our kids are usually gone looking for autographs or food or who's got snacks at their trailers. So
That's usually where Hudson is. Hudson's looking for snacks.
Is that right?
yeah.
He's in and out of trailers all night looking.
Yeah,
for
they don't hang around us once we're done racing.
No,
They're gone.
We barely see him. We see him, but when it's time to get ready for a heat race in the future, other than that, we barely
money.
See,
You
or
need
money.
money.
Or money. Yeah.
We don't see Hallie and Hudson much at the races.
Wow. How many times were you guys at the track last year? Have you kept track?
Like 60.
Wow.
It was kind of one of my
I bet you
slower
Steven
years.
will give us an answer.
Steven.
He'd probably
I'm not
know.
happy
It's
with
like
him.
54
Uh-oh.
probably.
Wow.
54 nights, I suppose. We were there.
I think 55 I directed.
Yeah.
Wow. Plans to slow down this next year?
Absolutely.
Okay. Hang
Yep.
with him a little more.
Yep, that's the plan.
Yep.
Focus is there.
Yep.
Yep.
All ready to go for next year? Have you got a lot of stuff to do?
Oh, I've got a list of stuff to do. Improvement wise, yeah. But
Okay.
otherwise, it'll all be the same. And
Okay. Now,
Yep.
you talk about improvement wise, are you talking about the car, the driver, or both?
both.
Okay.
Both, yep.
And,
try some different stuff and set up. And
Do you ever watch like film or anything?
the kids video it, but I've never watched it.
I don't know. When they can say, well, see, look what you're doing here in turn 3. I don't know if I'd be able to see it or not. You know, that's why, but it seems like everybody, that's what they're doing is
But when you have a 12-year-old filming too, I mean, it's not the greatest footage either, but or
about
a
as
9-year-old.
shaky as I would be.
Yeah.
Especially if he
Yeah.
like pulls off the track and then it's all of a sudden it's like she dropped the phone. And it's like,
Oh, sure.
Gosh, Hallie.
Yeah.
I think Hallie worries more than I do.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's because I'm so busy
Well, it's
doing other
dad,
stuff.
you know? Can't blame him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hudson, I don't even think it phases him actually.
Well, he's a boy. Yeah.
I remember one night we thought we lost the kid at the races. It was like everyone was
It was
gone.
the last night at River Cities.
We were literally like the last car there. And
Oh,
we're looking all over for Hudson.
Do you know how many times I've had little kids come crying up to the booth because they lost their folks?
He fell asleep in Sean's race car.
Oh, boy.
And my seat is black, so
Oh.
he was wearing all black.
Yep.
And we're in the dark by the gate, and here he is sitting in the car waiting for.
Just passed out.
That
So
is a
didn't
great
get in the back
story.
seat of the pickup, but he got in the race car instead.
Oh, man. Kaylee Elizabeth, I like this. I obviously don't know Sean much at all, besides that he's married to Amanda, but I never thought he talked much.
He doesn't.
And
No.
This is the most I've ever heard you
If you
talk. But
ask-
then, you know,
If you ask Steven, his answer to most things is, meh.
Yeah.
yeah, that's all right. Dexter Dviergstein. Hello. Dexter's watching the show.
Never heard of him.
No, never heard of him. Boy, he was fast last year too. I am looking forward to this year. I don't know. I haven't seen a River City Speedway schedule yet. Last year, I didn't go on the road as much last year. I think I did one Buffalo River show and maybe 2 at Devil's Lake. I'd like to get out a little more, but I have to deal with a wife too, and sometimes she doesn't like racing as much as I do. But I would imagine you're pretty stoked already. What do you do all winter?
This year's kind of different because Hallie's not doing basketball,
Oh,
so that kind of frees up a lot of Saturdays and Sundays. So might be more ice fishing and
Yeah.
more snowmobiling and
are you a snowmobile or are you a sled head?
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I try to be Tucker Hibbert, and then I remember I'm older than him, and
We're a divided house when it comes to that. I like Polaris. He likes Arctic Cat.
yeah,
Obviously.
all my stuff is ditch pickle green.
I
So-
think I'm thinking about turning her mic down.
Yeah,
I wore a Polaris shirt today, too.
Oh boy! Well, I'm
Yeah.
from Thief River Falls. I raced Arctic Cats for a long time. Ditch Pickle Green is
had an uncle
exactly
that
right.
raced- I had an uncle that raced for Team Arctic too.
Oh, is that right? Who's that?
Jerry.
Jerry.
Enright.
Jerry Enright.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Enright. Jeepers.
Yep.
Yeah.
He raced for a while. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I started in 71.
Okay. Yeah.
It was funny because I was hanging around with like the Cormacans and the Ricards and the Roger Jansons of the world, and then moved to Thief River in 5th grade, and now all of a sudden it's the Dave Thompsons and the Larry Colthams, the Tucker Hibberts, the Jerry Hall, all the Joey Hallstrom, all of those guys. But Aaron does have a similar story. Heather is watching us. Carry on Troft Group at Arctic Cat. Now we're going to have a snowmobile off here. Keep in mind the brother that started Arctic Cat, so I know that too.
Yep.
Heather, just be quiet. No. Okay, ice fishing. What do you prefer to catch? Are you a walleye guy or doesn't matter?
Perch are fun.
Yeah.
Because they're like a little football, of course,
Sure.
is
Yep.
what we kind of refer to them as. But crappies are fun. We hit crappies at Union pretty hard.
See, I'd prefer cold weather crappie. I think it tastes better than anything. I think it's better than walleye. I think it's better than all
They're
of that
fun.
stuff.
They're a
I
fun little fish to catch.
I don't like ice fishing, but both our kids do. So.
Yeah. Well, now ice fishing's so much different. I mean, you can.
Well, we have an ice castle too, so I mean,
do
it's
you?
not.
Jeez, you guys got everything.
We won it actually.
What?
Yeah, the East Grand Forks
Music boosters.
We're giving one away.
No way.
Yeah, and we bought, I don't know, 20 tickets or
Which is
something
funny.
one year, and
Your dad peddled tickets quite a bit that year, and he ends up winning.
yeah, and we won it. Yep.
So, how many people can sleep in it?
It's not a sleeper.
Oh,
it's
it's
just
not
a day thing.
God,
Yeah.
for nice.
It's got
That would
4
be so
holes in
nice.
it and a countertop, and
Perfect.
I got cots. I mean, we could sleep in it if
Yeah.
we have slept
have
in it
slept in it.
with an air mattress.
Devil's Lake, is that where you normally go, or Union, Maple, or
That
Lake of the
one
Woods?
mainly was Lake of the Woods because a sled house out there is a nightmare. Because
Yeah.
if the wind comes up or
Yep.
whatever and you're 20 miles out, you're not riding a snowmobile back with a sled house. So,
Oh, you're screwed.
yep. So, yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, it's like I say to everybody, I have to take you catfishing one of these summer days. We have a good time out there. We're going to get ready to wrap things up here. Again, fundraiser for Julie Pederson, 11 o'clock. It starts at the East Grand Forks American Legion. It'll go till about 2. There are a ton of incredible items at the silent auction. There'll be taco in a bag with all the fixins. We're asking for at least a $5 donation for you to eat. That's nothing for a fundraiser. You should be dropping in a 20 to eat a taco in a bag. I don't care. Also, if you cannot make it to this event, don't forget, if you want, you can call us up here. You can call John, 218-686-7930. Jackie, 218-791-6825. You can stop at any Franson Bank and Trust, Grand Forks or East Grand Forks. Let's help the Pederson family. These guys, I don't care if they know you or not, they would help you if they could. And we really need to make this work out. The Canadians watching, good morning, John, guest, crew, and everyone. Let's see, be cool to try the Lightning Sprints. Back probably couldn't take it. Sounds fun, though. Great show. Cheers. Can't wait to see the Canadians again. I tell you what, Sean, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I feel like I've broken the ice. A lot of the times, well, let's face it, you see you from afar.
Right.
I see you from up at a darn booth, unless I happen to run into you in the pits beforehand, which I'm not there very long. A lot of the people that I get to meet now, race car drivers, it's from the show. That's when you finally get to see what they look like. You finally get to talk to them, finally get to realize they are human beings like we are. And now I consider I've got another friend, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Amanda, Joe, you the bomb. I know you are tired as all heck. Go home, take a nap, and thank you again.
No problem.
Quit doing the nights, because if I need you again, it's too hard.
6 more to go.
Okay, well, you'll do her. You can do that on your head, right?
Yeah.
Get her done. John, thank you for taking time out of your day to come in. It just tells you, people that work on these fundraisers and things, when you're willing to leave work to come and hang around with us for a while to push this and to promote this and to tell people to get over there. It's fun. It's a great thing. I can't wait for Sunday. It's too bad that's why we're going to be there, but I think it's going to be a blast. I am really looking forward to it. All of you guys, thank you. Have a great Thanksgiving. And I don't know if we'll see you guys this weekend, but I know we'll see you on Sunday. All right? Hey, thanks, man. Thank you, all of you guys. All right, don't forget about our awesome sports show coming up tonight. Also, want to thank Rumors Sports Bar Casino. We'll talk about the sports show here in a minute. Rumors, BT, Jake, Scotty, all of them. Check it out. You want to watch UND Fighting Hawks hockey this weekend? Go to Rumor Sports Bar Casino, wall-to-wall TVs. Get yourself one of those ginormous, world-famous beer towers while you're watching a game. And then you're really close to the bathroom. That's a really cool thing. So, and the food is awesome, too. Monday is DJ Trivia Night. Go get yourself sandwich and sides today for just $7. Rumor Sports Bar Casino in the Grand Cities Mall. Again, our sports show tonight. Fork Sports Highway, 6:30. We've got Bill Deutsch. We've got Monty Stensland. We have got Raven and the crew. It's probably the best sports podcast you are ever going to see. Make sure to check it out, all right? Hey, we will see you tomorrow. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit the notification bell on your smartphone. You'll never miss a show that way. You know, we like the Grand Cities. Grand Forks' best source is giving them an identity again.